We are going to be starting one on April 1. So it's important that you join. You're going to learn a lot from that class. Okay. So I started yesterday by talking about the different types of questions. And I told you that these first 3 questions, okay, gap filling questions, true, false, not given questions, okay, and matching statements are the easiest types of questions that you are going to come across in IELTS reading. And you must master them. If you can master them, you have a very good chance of getting band 7.0. That's one of the things I emphasized yesterday. And then I also talked about the 4 techniques. The first technique you need to learn to use is what we call keyword identification. I'm going to go through that process again today as I solve some examples of true, false, not given. So after keyword identification, the second technique is what we call scanning and skimming. You must learn how to scan through the passage. You're going to see me out as I do that again today. And then you must learn to focus read. I'm going to do focus reading today again. All right. And then self-correction. Well, I might not do self-correction today, but I'm going to show you the importance of self-correction. Okay. So these 4 techniques are techniques that you must practice over and over. It's not just important for you to hear me teach this thing. Okay. You don't learn IELTS reading by hearing somebody. You don't learn IELTS reading by watching a video on YouTube. No. You learn IELTS reading by doing what you heard, doing what you learned. If you don't do what the teacher told you to do, if you don't do things the way the teacher told you to do them, you're not going to be able to do it on the exam day. Education exams don't work that way. For you to succeed in an exam, you have to hear what the teacher says and you have to practice it so that you get used to it. And by the time you sit for the exam, you are going to do what you're already used to doing. What has become part and parcel of you is what you will do on the exam day. But nothing will become part and parcel of you if you don't practice it. So you have to practice these things, practice using these techniques, using these strategies that we teach. Hope you get my point. So today we are going to be looking at yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. So usually what we are going to see is that we're going to see a passage. So we have a short passage here. The title of this passage is The Medicine. The question says, read the information on the medicine in the passage below. Do the following statements agree with the information in the passage? So if it agrees, write yes. If it contradicts, write no. And if the information is not sufficient, or if there is no information, write what? Not given. Okay, so I'm just going to solve one question here. I want to use it to show you something called paraphrasing. There's something in IELTS reading that we call paraphrasing, or we call it using synonyms. I'm going to show you in this. I want to use this particular question to show you that thing. Now, look at number 1. You should lie down after you have taken the medicine. Okay, so we want to see, is this statement true? Or is it false? Or is it not given? Is it yes or no or not given? Now look at the passage. Bullet 1, the medicine must be taken as directed. That does not answer our question. Before using shake the bottle, that does not answer our question. Dose, that does not answer our question. Instruction, do not take this medicine on an empty stomach or immediately before lying down. Yes, this is the way our answer is. Look at this part. Immediately before lying down. This part that says immediately before lying down. Very, very important. Okay? Immediately before lying down. Now read that part again. Do not take the medicine. Let me underline that part. Do not take this medicine immediately before lying down. Okay? Read that again. Do not take this medicine immediately before lying down. That's what the statement says. Now look at what that's what the passage says. Now look at what the statement number 1 says. You should lie down after you have taken the medicine. Look at how they changed words for us. They've done paraphrasing for us. In the passage, they said before. In the statement, they said after. Okay? Lie down is the same as lying down. Taking the medicine. Take the medicine. Okay? Now, let's rearrange this thing carefully. let me delete this this stuff that I wrote. Paraphrasing, this issue about paraphrasing. Let me clean it and use it to show you what I want to show you. So this is what the passage is saying. The passage is saying that what? Do not. So this is the order. Let me put it this way. Take medicine. Okay? Then lie. What's it called? Lie down. Okay? The passage is saying that don't do this thing. Okay? Don't take the medicine before lying down. Okay? Meaning that what? After taking the medicine, walk around or stand upright. Don't lie down. That's what the passage is saying. Now, look at what we have in the statement. You should lie down. That's a contradiction. Very straightforward. But you see, the way they just turned the thing upside down, some people can get confused. So what I want to bring to you here is that word. In IELTS reading, one of the ways they paraphrase is by what? They rearrange words. Okay? That's one of the ways they paraphrase in IELTS reading. Whenever you see them rearranging words or changing, so they use a word in the passage, they will now use the opposite in the statement. In the passage now, they said before. In this statement normal, they said after. So these are things you need to what? Take note of whenever you are solving words. True, false, not giving a word. Yes, no, not giving. Hope you get my point. Now, let me show you the formula. Okay? Let me show you the formula for true, false, not giving. This is a formula here. True, true. True, true means that word. If one part of the statement and another part of the statement is supported by the passage, everything is true. Okay? I want you to write down this formula in your book, please. Number two formula is what? Number two, the second part of the formula is true. T plus F equals F. So number one is what? T plus T equals T. Number two is T plus F equals F. So in other words, one part of the statement can be true. Another part is false. If that is the situation, then everything is false. The answer you write is what? False. Number three says T plus NG is NG. What does that mean? If one part of the statement is true and the other part is not given, then what should we write? The total answer is what? Not given. F plus F is F. In other words, if the two parts of the statement are false, then everything is false. F plus NG is NG. In other words, if one part of the statement is contradicted and the other part, the passage is silent about it, then everything is what? Everything is contradicted. And then the last part is what? NG plus NG is what? NG. This formula is what I use when I'm solving true, false, not given questions. So let me treat some questions now and show you how I use the formula. So this is a passage here. The title of the passage is The Bike Foundry. The Bike Foundry. So I start again with the statement. The Bike Foundry sells only second-hand bicycles. Notice that word, only, is a keyword here. And then it says second-hand bicycles. All right, so let's go to the passage. The Bike Foundry promotes cycling. Okay, environmentally friendly. Our bikes, you see the way I'm jumping? All our bikes are hand restored. Hold on. And restored. You see these parts? And restored. What does it mean? Let me underline this, and restored. Hand restored. These parts that I just put in red circle. What is the meaning of hand restored? Hand restored is another word for second hand. Second hand. It means that what? Somebody has used it before. But then we just cleaned it, changed some damaged parts, and we are ready to sell it to another person. That's what they call second hand. Another word for it is what? Hand restored. Okay? So notice that thing. All our bikes are what? Hand restored by our team. Notice that word, all. So look at the statement number 8. The Bike Foundry sells only second-hand bicycles. So what does that mean? Statement 8 is what? It's true. Everything is supported. Okay? Everything is supported. Okay, so the answer to number 8 is going to be what? Is going to be true. Okay, number 9. What do we have in number 9? All the training sessions are held at the bike foundry. Okay, all the what? All the training sessions. Notice that word, all. Notice that word, all. All the training sessions are held where? They are held at the bike foundry. Now look at the passage. What do we have in the passage? Does the passage support that idea? So training, I can see training here. Okay, training. We offer maintenance and cycle training. Okay, we offer what? Maintenance and cycle training to schools. Notice that part. And small groups where on their own premises. Can you see that? That contradicts statement 9. All, this part, all. Okay? All the training sessions are held at the bike foundry. No, not all. It says that what? We offer cycle training in schools and what? Groups on their own premises. Okay? And then we also do this in our workshop. So they do some training in people's premises. They also do some training in their workshop. So number 9 is what? Number 9 is false. Why? Because not all the training are done not all the training are done at the workshop of Bike Foundry. So number 9 is what? False. So you see, one part is supported. Which part is supported? Training sessions are held at Bike Foundry. But one part is contradicted. The part of what? All. This all is contradicted. By what? By this sentence and by this other sentence. So I'm joining the two sentences to indicate that what? To suggest that what? Not everything is held at the Bike Foundry. I hope you are following me. Let me do another one. Number 11 or number 10. The Bike Basics course is aimed at new cyclists. Okay? Let me go to another slide to make this thing a little bit bigger. To make it a little bit bigger. Bikes basic course. Okay? All right. So I'm coming. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. So another slide. So this one makes it bigger. Okay. So we have our question here. So it says that what? The bike's basic course. This is the question we are doing. Number 10. The bike's basic course is aimed at what? New cyclists. So look at the question here. Okay? The question says that what? Look at the passage. The passage says that this is a 3-hour course. Okay? This is a 3-hour course which will what? This is a 3-hour course. All right. This is a 3-hour course which will teach you everything you need to know. Okay? Which will teach you everything you need to know on how to keep on top of simple maintenance issues, like looking after brakes and gears and how to repair a puncture. Notice that they've not used the word new cyclist yet. By the end of your course, you know how to take good care of your bike. So did they mention new cyclist in this paragraph? I can't see new cyclists in this new paragraph. All right. Notice that word, new cyclist, aimed at new cyclists. They didn't tell us who this bike basics course is aimed at. So what do we pick? Not given. So this part of bike's basic course is supported by the passage. They mentioned it in the passage. But the part of aimed at new cyclists is not mentioned. So you see, one part is true, but the other part is not supported by the passage. So what do I pick? Not given. The answer will be not given. Let me do one more. Let me jump to number 14. Let me jump to number 14. Let me see. Number 14. I want to move to another slide. It's bigger in that other slide. Let's go to another slide. Okay. And then we treat number 14. Then we look for another question. Look at another question. People can cancel their place on the training course 1 week before it begins and still get their money back. Cancel. So look at it. Cycle training. There's nothing about cancel here. to book a place, email, training, okay? We ask for a 50% deposit to confirm your place. Refundable up to 7 days before the course. Hope you are seeing the place I'm reading. This is the place I'm reading. This place where you have this red highlighter. We ask for a 50% deposit to confirm your place. Then look at the next thing. Refundable. What's the meaning of refundable? We will refund your money up to 7 days. How many weeks do we have in 7 days? Or how many days do we have in 1 week? It's 7 days. In the passage, they used 7 days. In the question, they used 1 week. Okay, so number 14 says, people can cancel their place on a training course 1 week before it begins and still get their money back. Yes, it's true. The answer is true. The answer to number 14 is what? True. You can cancel 7 days before it begins and you get your money, because the thing says here that what? It is refundable. They will refund your money. It is refundable. So everything in this number 14 is what? It's fully supported. Hope you are getting my gist. So you see the way we are analyzing this thing one by one. Okay? We take it that word. We are using that formula. Again, look at the formula. Let me go back to that formula. True, true. If everything in the statement is true, then your answer is true. If one part is true and another part is false, our answer is what? False. Okay? If one part is true and another part is not given, then everything is what? Everything is not given. Okay? If one part is false and another part is false, then what? Everything is false. Hope you get my point. Let me treat another example. Let me treat another example. I have another example here. This one looks a little bit tiny. But what you can do is you can zoom this thing on your phone. There's a way for you to zoom on your phone, okay? I see some people making comments that I should make it bigger, but it's actually easier for you to zoom on your phone. Just zoom this text from your own hand, all right? So we have a passage here. I'll just treat 3 or 4 questions here before I round up. So look at the statement, number 9, okay? Okay, let me try and see if I can. I think I've zoomed it here for the people that are saying I should zoom. Number 9 says, the system for claiming compensation varies from one company to another. The system for claiming compensation. So system is a keyword here. Varies is a keyword here from one company to another. All right, so let's look at the passage carefully. So I need to reduce this thing a little bit so I can read it. So this is our passage here. So the passage begins by telling us that what? Generally, if you have been delayed, you may be able to what? You may be able to claim compensation, but train companies have different rules. Can you see that part? Train companies have what? Different rules. Train companies all have different rules. Go back to the statement. The system for, or the rules. The system, or we can say what? The rules for claiming compensation varies from one company to another. Yes, it's supported by this part that says what? Train companies all have different rules. Hope you get the point. So number 9 is what? Number 9 is true. Number 9 is true. Okay, fully supported. Number 10, under delay repay, a train company will only provide compensation if it costs the delay. Okay, so delay repay is in capital, so it's a keyword for me here. And then look at it, only, anytime you see the word only, more, majority, many, all, those words are important adjectives in true, false, not given. Okay, so under delay repay, a train company will only provide compensation if it costs the delay. So let's check the passage. I can see delay repay here. The type of delay you can claim for depends on whether the train company runs a delay scheme. Okay, so let's look at the meaning of delay repay. Delay repay is a train operator scheme to compensate passengers when trains are late, and the train company will pay out even if it was not responsible, even if it was not responsible for the delay. Look at that. Even if it was not responsible for the delay. Now let's check the statement. Under delay repay, a trade company will provide compensation if it caused the delay. No. Look at this part. This part says that what? It will pay out even if it was not responsible. So that's a contradiction. Okay? A trade company will provide compensation. That part is supported. But this part of even if, this part of if it caused the delay, only if it caused the delay is contradicted by the passage. Okay? So the passage says that what? The trade company will pay even if it was not responsible. So whether we are responsible or not, we are going to do what? We are going to pay. That's what the passage says. So what do we say? Number 10 is what? Is contradicted. So I'm going to write what? False. You see the way I'm using the formula? True, false. What is the answer? False. If one part is true and another part is false, then the entire statement is what? The entire statement is false. Okay? Look at number 11. Under delay repay, okay? Under delay repay, underground and other train companies give exactly the same amounts of money in compensation. So let's look at the passage. Underground, so they compare two types of trains. Underground and other train companies, okay? So let's look at the passage. The scheme, so I'm reading from this place that I highlighted now. The scheme varies between companies, but up to 2016, most paid 50% of the single ticket cost for 30 minutes delay and 100% for an hour. On the London Underground, you get a full refund for 15 minutes delay. Now, let's look at the statements again and look and compare. What we want to do now is focus. What I'm doing is focus reading analysis. Under delay repay, underground and other train companies give exactly the same amount. Is it exactly the same amount? No, it's not exactly the same amount. Okay, look at it. It's not exactly the same amount. Look at it. Look at the passage. Most paid 15%. I'm sorry, most paid 50% of the ticket cost. Okay, and then 100% for an hour. Can you see that it's not exactly the same amount? Some pay 50%, some pay what? 100%. So what do we say about number 11? Number 11 is what? Is false. Number 11 is what? Is false. Hope you are following my analysis. Let me go to another, let me go to number 12. So this is number 12. An increasing number of train companies are willing to what? Are willing to pay compensation for problems they are not responsible for. An increasing number of train companies are willing to pay compensation for problems they are not responsible for. That's what number 12 says. So let's see, does the passage support this number 12? Okay, so let me see. I need to go back to this, to the part of the passage before this slide to answer that question. So this says that what? Companies that do not use the delay repay and still use other scheme will not usually pay compensation if the problem is considered to be out of their control, but it is still worth asking them for compensation, as some may pay out. You are unlikely to get compensation for a delay if any of the following occur. Now look at the statement carefully again. This is the statement here. An increasing number of train companies are willing to pay compensation for problems they are not responsible for. Okay? Problems they are not responsible. Notice that part that says an increasing number. Increasing number means more and more train companies are willing to do this thing. Now, look at this passage carefully. There's nothing in this passage that indicates that more and more train companies are willing to do that thing that they said. It's not here. I can't see it in this entire, from this point where it says that the scheme varies, okay? From this point all the way till the end, I can't see it there. This part that I highlighted doesn't support that statement. It doesn't contradict it either. So the answer is going to be not given. Okay, increasing number means what? More and more train companies. I can't say anything like that. You say, look at this place. It says that what? Companies that do not use delay repay, okay, usually will not pay. He's even saying we will not pay. So this issue of increasing number of companies are willing to pay is not, we can't see it in this passage. We can't see it. So what do we pick? We're going to pick what? Not giving. So this number 12, the answer to number 12 is going to be what? It's going to be not giving. Not giving. The passage is silent about that issue of what? Increasing number. The passage is silent about it. Let me do one more before I round up. It is doubtful whether companies using older scheme will provide compensation if the delay is caused by a strike. So strike is a key word here. Caused by a strike. If the delay is caused by a strike. So let me look at the passage. Let me see. So here it says that what? Some train companies. Okay, hold on. These bullets, all these bullet parts, look at it carefully. I can see strike somewhere here. Strike action. You can see strike action here. So let's read it carefully. Let's read it carefully. It looks very tiny. Let me check the previous slide. Yes, it's bigger here. So look at this part. You are unlikely to get a compensation for a delay if any of the following occurs. Okay? You are unlikely to get a compensation if any of the following occurs. Now look at it. It now lists those things. It now says strike action. Now look at the statements. Look at the statement. Let me go to the bigger slide. It is doubtful whether companies using the older scheme will provide compensation if a delay is caused by strike. Yes, it's true. Strike action is on that list. Okay? Strike action is on this list. Okay? So the answer to number 13 is what? Number 13 is true. Number 14, passengers may receive compensation in the form of a train voucher if they forget to request cash. So let's see voucher and cash. I can see voucher here. You can see voucher here. So let's read that part. National Rail Conditions of Travel state that you are entitled to compensation in the same form that you paid the ticket. Some train companies are still paying rail vouchers, which they are allowed to do if you do not ask for cash refund. If you do not ask. So look at it. Passengers may receive compensation in the form of a train voucher if they forget to request cash. Yes, that's it. So it's true. Number 14 is fully supported by the passage. So you see the way I've solved this particular set of questions, and you can see the correct answers here. Okay, number 12 is not given. What's that number 12 again? That's the part where they said that, where is it now? An increasing number of train companies are willing, increasing number, that issue of increasing number, you can see the answer is not given. Okay, so we need to learn to use this formula carefully. Let me go back to that formula again as I round up. True plus true equals what? True. Okay, true plus false equals what? False. True plus not given equals what? Not given. False plus false equals what? False. True plus F plus NG equals what? NG. NG plus NG equals what? Not given. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause here for now. If you have any question, I have less than 1 minute for this call to end. If you have any question, you can